Alright, so now we're going to talked about the floor plans, view templates, and elevations. Now we're going to talk about this 3D section. So basically it's made in a very similar way to we made the elevation, but we need to do a section instead of an elevation. So let's look at our sections real quick. So if I go to my go to our plan A1, we have a section that runs right through the middle of the building, right? So we'll go ahead and use that one. Let's look at our plan A3 real quick. Yeah, that will work. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was looking at the circular window. So we'll use this section, and this is section 2, right? So what I'm going to do is pretty much the same process that I did here. So I'm going to come over to my 3D bracketed view, right click on it, and duplicate view. And then I'm going to rename it. And actually I have a bad habit of using the rename. You can now actually just double click on it. 3D wall off 2, right? And it'll stack right below that. And so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the pull down. We are going to go to orient to view, sections, section 2. And it's going to clink right into that view, right? And then I'm just going to go up to my view cube and click on the top right corner. Now you can come in and sort of orient yourself around, you know, like this if you want to, but I usually just stick with the basic one. If you wanted to see a little bit more up into the beams, you know, however you want to do it. This is a section box, right? So the section box in Revit, and we'll take a look at it in a minute, is what's creating this cropped view. Okay, so now we just need a view template. So I'm just going to go to VV, or actually let's change some of these on the fly. So I'm just going to come down to my visual style, and I'm going to go to hidden line, right? And then I'm going to go to VV, and I can turn in the generic models. I want to go ahead and turn the section cut to a solid black. So now everything that's in section is black, and then maybe I want my projection lines to be gray, right? So again, just sort of going through and setting things up the way that you want them. Now, because of the way the Rhino file was modeled, these lines are not going to go away. You would have to go back to the Rhino file and Boolean those guys together to get those to hide. It's very difficult to go in and get them to hide. In other times you could come in and use the line work. So you can come in and use the line work to get those guys to go away. It's a bit tedious, so it's up to you whether you want to. Got like a door handle left here, which is a little weird, but you can go in and start to adjust those if you want to as well. Okay, all right, so maybe another thing I'll do, let's see what it looks like to make the surfaces like just slightly gray, right? So I'm just going to make them solid, and then just almost a hint of gray, just to give it a little offset from the background, right? And I'll add that to the colors. And then click OK, and then apply, right? So now you've just got a little, maybe that's a little too gray, I don't know. But now you could save this. You could also turn on the sun and the shadows. So if I turn the shadows on, in order to set the sun up, which we'll talk more about this with 3D models, but you can come and turn the sun path on, right? And you can adjust the sun kind of on the fly, right? So you come in, right, and start pulling the sun around, right, you're going to have a hard time sort of getting the sun to sort of come in that building on that side, right? Let's look at the sun settings and see. Yeah, it's set up in Tokyo. So that's a bit of a problem getting the sun. If you just want some general sun, you can actually go to sun settings, and this is set in Tokyo, right? But we could actually go to a lighting and do it from top right and apply. And let's do it from top left and apply, right? So you could do your lighting from a different view, right? That doesn't have anything to do with the sun. It's a little bit of a cheat. And then you can also come in and under your graphic display options, I kind of like to make my shadows a little lighter. So going under lighting and taking those shadows down to maybe 30, right? And I'm just not at all convinced that I like this gray. Seems like it could be a lot less. Maybe just a tinge. Just a tinge. Right, so a little lighter. So now that you've got all that done, you can come in and turn off the sun path. Right, you could select the section box and view hide it. And then I'm going to turn on the crop region, right? And that's a pretty good crop region. Maybe you want to show all the shadow, so go ahead and pull that out. It's up to you, right? And then you can turn off the crop region if you're done with it. And then you can go to your composition sheet. And if I delete this guy, right, and I pull the wall off too, in, right, and move it down a little bit. It's kind of big. Could make it a little smaller, changing the scale maybe from, there we go, a little better. And then viewport gray, no title, and you've got that guy set in there. So that's the section, so very similar to the elevation.